Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How's it going? We got folks still trickling in. We'll get started here shortly. Um, Thank you all for hopping on. We're excited about 2026 and a lot going on, a lot of opportunity for hopefully for your businesses. If we can be helpful with helping you scale up, that'd be great. So
Well,
you
we're
see,
looking forward to it.
yeah, yeah, we're excited. So we'll get started here. Oh, we got Lauren. Good morning, Lauren. I see you.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Great, thanks. How are
Um,
you?
Doing well, doing well.
Hi,
Um,
Renee. Hi, Alexis.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
So we can get started with recording so others can pop in. We'll have this recording, so we'll try to get this up on ascendla.org so people can tune in too that way. But we'll get started. So welcome to our first information session for 2026 for Ascend LA. We're trying to scale these businesses, your business for growth. We're growth oriented. This isn't a training program. This is a business development program, where we're assessing your business to put you in a position not only to secure contracts, but also to be able to fulfill those contracts. And so we have a wonderful team, and we'll kind of get into some of those background information on Ascend and some of those outcomes that we and successes we've had. But we're scaling growth oriented business across Los Angeles County. Shout out to our sponsor, JP Morgan. Special shout out to them. They are funding this program along with other partners. And so we always want to acknowledge them. They've been great partners over the years. Um, so our agenda, I'll introduce myself. I always like to bring up an alum that's had some success with Ascend. So we're going to bring up Lauren Yone with Tierra West Advisors, and she'll give some insights and lessons learned from Ascend LA. And then we'll talk briefly about the program, give a brief overview, and then we'll introduce Renee Coda and the CMG Alliance team, which has been our partner in helping us achieve these great feats in regards to helping these businesses get these contracts. And then we'll kind of go into the application process and timeline, so you have some insight in regards to how to prepare for the application and being onboarded if you're selected. So and then we can open it up for question Q&A. So we'll go from there. But we'll talk briefly about Lisk LA. Some of the folks on the call have worked with us, but we are a community development financial institution. I'm the senior program officer. I lead our economic development team, as well as our economic development programs, which includes Ascend LA. Lisk LA, the structure of Lisk LA, we are a nonprofit. We're sort of like a bank, but we don't take deposits, and we're a nonprofit organization. But we are in roughly 38 different cities, and then we have a national network as well. And we've been around, we're kind of behind the scenes, but since 1979, we've invested over 35 billion in community investments and leveraged over 93 billion in grants, loans, equity, assisted over 8,500 plus businesses and connected them with access to capital. And so and over 1 million businesses supported by our technical assistance. This will be considered one of those types of programs. But locally, Lisk LA, 200, over 200 million invested. We do affordable housing projects as well. So we've assisted over 1,100 affordable housing units, 71,000 square feet of commercial space. But this is what it's about is Ascend LA, 70 million plus in contracts secured through programs such as Ascend LA, and sustaining jobs, job creation, job retention, those types of things, 300 plus. So we've had some success in the past. And so we'll take it from there. And from here, I wanted to just pause right there, and I want to allow Lauren to come forward and speak and just share some of her insights with the Sin. And then after that, we'll talk a little bit more about the program. But we'll pass it to Lauren and let you share some of your insights.
Awesome. Good morning, everyone. I'm Lauren Yonai. I want to thank Jabbar and Ascend for having me here today. I can't brag enough about the program and the support they provide to small businesses in LA. I completed the cohort last year. I also want to commend you all for showing up for yourselves and your dedication to you and your business. It takes a lot of work to run a small business, and it's awesome when you're able to find Ascend and people like CMG to support you on your journey and getting contracts and fine-tuning things that you wouldn't be able to otherwise. I work for Tierra West Advisors. We're a small family-owned business based out of Boyle Heights. We consult to public agencies throughout Southern California. We specialize in real estate and financial development in support of community and economic development. Wait, sorry, real estate and financial analysis in support of community and economic development. I joined the family business in 2013. And today I am vice president and in the process, in the succession process. And hopefully we'll be taking over the business in the next 5 years. When I first joined Tierra West, I was thrown into a Metro proposal that required 6 hard copies in 5-inch binders. Since then, it's nice that agencies have moved away from hard copies. But it was an experience to say the least. So when I first saw the an advertisement for the Ascend program, I immediately knew I wanted to be a part of it. When you're thrown into things, you kind of miss all the nuances and small tips that assist in making a solid proposal. So I was lucky enough to be accepted into the program, and through that program, they help us find contracts that fall within our wheelhouse. The CMG team basically did all the research for us, sent it to us. We either said yes or no, and did the draft, which when you're a small business, any assistance you can get with creating proposals is extraordinary. Proposals take a lot of time, and you want to make sure they're properly organized and you didn't meet anything. And CMG was there to support that. So I appreciate and thank them very much. And under the Ascend, or while attending the Ascend program, we were able to secure 2 contracts. One with the Housing Authority of City of Los Angeles and County of Orange. So anytime I meet another small business, if they haven't heard of Ascend, I tell them about it and say that they need to apply to the next cohort. Additionally, I think it assisted me with coming into myself as a leader And when you're with other small businesses, the support you find and realizing everyone is in the same boat and they're just doing it anyway. So let's show up, do it with confidence, and get it done. So I wish you well on your application and hope you do join.
Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. Awesome success. And yeah, I knew she'd be great for this. I don't know if you're gonna hang around. They might have some questions for you later, but
Of course,
yeah, but
not a
feel free
problem.
to, yeah, that'd be great. Okay. Well, let's transition here and kind of get into the nuts and bolts and background of Ascend. Let me share my screen again here. Okay. Can everybody hold on? Oh, I think you gotta. Can everybody see that or no? Not
Yes,
yet.
we can see it, Jamar.
You can't see it? Okay. All right.
Yes.
So, a little again about Ascend, we're focused on giving you access to coaching capital, and as Lauren talked about, contracts. But another thing is community. Obviously, we're a community development financial institution, so the community impact is an element. Even in some of you have probably went through the application process and it's some mention about, your community impact. And so, that's something that we're, have prioritized. Again, these are some of the numbers, over 70 million in contracts awarded. We got a strong alumni, network, of folks that have been through this program and had some success. So what you'll gain is, scale operations, as was mentioned, competing for major government and corporate contracts. It's a lot of opportunity coming to the LA area over the next few years, and in the present, and access to capital strategies, building lasting industry relationships. One thing that we did last year, even at our graduation ceremony, we had one of the vice presidents at ACOM be one of our speakers. Also, Clark Construction, and also this Mayor Bass, the Office of Policy and Small Business. So we want to make those connections happen for you. So that's another add on to this program. Next, so the program framework, really quick before I bring up Renee. This was kind of started this whole Ascend program. It's a national program in different cities carry out the work. But their framework is a 3M framework from University of Washington. And that focuses on management, markets, and money. So financial literacy, capital strategy, competitive positioning, client targeting, and strategic leadership and operational excellence, which is much needed when you're presenting yourself, your capabilities, those types of things. It's a great program framework. And then I just talked about, I always talk about these C's: coaching, capital, contracts, and community. And so that's kind of the program framework, the overarching framework. But I want to present Renee Coda to speak about what it's really about and going after those contracts. So um, just talk about our partner. And this has been our partner. And they've done great work. We have our corporate partners as well. JP Morgan, I mentioned, but Capital One, T-Mobile, Los Angeles Business, Council, and then they launched their Compete for LA platform. And then we're plugged in with Getting the Game LA. I don't know if folks are signed up on gettingthegamela.com, but that gives you an opportunity to plug in. I'm on there as a advisor, so you can schedule time, 15 minutes. If you want to bounce some ideas off of me, we can set a cadence for that too. And that's just something that just complementary to what Ascend does. So with that said, I want to introduce Renee Coda. and his team and have him share some insights in regards to his role within Ascend LA. So I'll pass it to Renee.
Perfect. Thank you, Jabbar. Good morning, everybody. So my name is Renee Cota. I'm the President and CEO of CMG Alliance. There's a couple other key personnel from our firm on as well. Our project manager, Alexis Patlan, is on, and assistant project manager, Brett McCauley, you'll see him on as well. We may have a couple others on here. But I wanted to take just a couple minutes and give you a quick overview of the program and really reinforce what Jabbar had talked about, that this is not a training program. This is a business development program. So to give you real broad strokes and really quick of how this is going to go is that if you are accepted into the program, it's going to start with strategy sessions. We have 4 strategy sessions, one-on-ones with myself and our team. And we're going to talk about some specifics surrounding government contracting, and then there's going to actually be an exercise at the end of those sessions, those strategy sessions with you. So there will be some work on your end to actually do some legwork and some research on that side. Then once we get past those 4 sessions, we move into phase 2. Phase 2 is actual business development. And Lauren hit on this, where you'll have, what I want you to really envision is, if you're accepted into the program, is you're going to have a business development team at your disposal, meaning you're going to have individuals actually mining opportunities for you, RFPs, RFIs, grants, whatever the case is, actually looking at specific scopes of work, understanding what your core competency is, and then marrying those two up. Once you look at some of those opportunities and you go through what we consider a go, no go checklist, you're looking at it and it's a go, it's a thumbs up, then that goes to our technical writers. And then our technical writers are actually going to draft out the first draft of that proposal for you. Then they're going to be back in touch with you and say, okay, this is the approach. And they're going to be in conversations with you about, okay, what is your value proposition? How are we going to make sure that this proposal is rock solid if we get to the submission point? And inevitably, this question comes up probably about 98% of the time. How do we price it? Now, what I really want you to understand is we're not going to tell you what the price is, but we will walk you through what prevailing wage is, what some of the empirical data is out there for your particular industry, what information do you need to derive at a specific price structure and understand, is there a profit margin in this? Are you going to be competitive? Are you not going to be competitive? And then strategy sessions about submitting these proposals and getting feedback, debrief information. Okay, how far are we away on this? Are we within a 3 percentile of winning some of these contracts, or are we within a 30 percentile? In other words, we need to scrub the entire process and start from scratch. So what I really want you to understand is that this is a time commitment. This is not a situation where we just come in and contracts fall out of the sky. It takes a significant amount of your time and effort as well. You will have a business development team, but it's going to be interaction with us. I say this all the time when we get into the strategy sessions. Listen, if you're the type of business that it takes you 2-3 days to answer an email, that's really not acceptable on the business development side. You need to be moving. If you want these contracts, you've got to be engaged. This is a contact sport. Contracting is a contact sport. So you've got to be engaged on that side. And the other big thing is the question I'm sure that we'll inevitably get in the Q&As here is, I don't know if my company's right for this. I don't know if my organization is right for this particular program. In the very first strategy session, we're going to have you conduct specific research to see what the spend is within your core competency. That's going to tell you the answer. You may ask me the question right now and give me the broad strokes on your core competency. I probably won't know the answer without doing the research. We talk about this all the time. Do the research to come to your conclusion on some of those answers. So I know there's specifics. There's going to be some Q&A at the end, but you're going to ask how many people. We're looking for 40 for the first cohort. It's going to be a 3-month cohort, and then we're going to move right into a second cohort. So space is limited. I would suggest looking at the requirements. Jabbar's going to run through them here in a second, but look at those requirements. You meet those requirements, go full force. Let me jump the gun on the question about whether you're right for this program. If you have seen some RFPs out there for what you do, you have got some indication that there are opportunities, or your competitors have some specific contracts that you want to go after, this program is probably right for you. If you haven't seen any of that, maybe you've got a new innovative product or process, whatever the case is that you want to submit on the government side, we can help you with that. But inevitably, what we want in this program is we need to move the needle on contracts. That is economic development. That is actually moving the needle within our small business community, because you're going to be able to hire more, you're going to be able to grow. So we're kind of fast paced in this program. So buckle up and be ready. That's the best advice I can give you once you submit your application on that side. So Jabbar, I'll kick it back to you. I went over my time by about a minute and a
Awesome.
half.
You're good. You're good. Okay, so he kind of went over. We'll talk about some of the eligibility requirements. Um, we are opening it up to businesses that are have a revenue threshold of 1 million to 2 million, up to 5 million. To and so in the past, we've had our legacy industries, which have mostly been construction, professional services, IT. And then we had some nonprofits as well because they go after government contracts too. So we'll keep that open to those nonprofits and try to assess and see what makes sense. But another pivot that we made is going after attracting these companies from emerging technology. So AI, clean energy, aerospace, defense. We got a cluster here in Los Angeles around these technologies, quantum, advanced manufacturing and logistics. And so we want to open that up. It's so the revenue threshold. Now, if I want to speak to this because you might be saying, well, I'm a tech company, but I'm not at that revenue threshold. Now here's the thing with technology. If you're a builder, you can get 60, 90-day pilot stood up pretty quickly. And so the revenue threshold is more, our assessment would be more about capabilities from that perspective. If you're able to stand something up and we can, make a good argument, for getting you a contract that's perfectly fine. So don't worry about the revenue threshold if you have those types of um, skill sets. So, and then location, headquarter, or serving customers in Los Angeles. So it's kind of some flexibility there as well. At least 2 years in operations, capacity to compete for government contracts. I don't want to just say government too, because it could be some corporate opportunities too with utilities and things like that, or with the emerging tech. So, and then Renee said it, 3-month program per cohort. So Ascend LA is a business development program for companies ready to scale. So that's what we are focused on, and application and key dates. So you can go to ascendla.org. There is a little widget on there that you can pop in some information and it basically use a little bit of AI technology on that. And it can kind of give you an indicator if you're a good fit. It's just about five questions and it kick out in a couple of seconds, let you give you an indicator. But there's no fee for this. This is a sought out program, but thanks to our sponsor, and we try to make remove those barriers to entry. But like I said, it does require um, you to be all in, for this program, this opportunity. So next information session, if you know some other companies that might be a good fit, we'll do another one of these next week at 5 p.m., February 26th. Now, the application process, we have a rolling application process is open, throughout all the way up to 1st of June. So as you're filling out your applications, we're assessing So it's rolling applications and rolling acceptance notifications as well. So we'll be notifying folks if you're a good fit and we feel like you should be in there. You'll get communication, and we're gonna kind of talk about how that communication happens. But yeah, that's the format of that. And then the program start date for cohort one is March 5th. These are virtual, so try to make it as flexible as possible. We don't want to, we want to be complimentary to your schedules. We don't want to be disruptive to what you got going on and help you scale. So, and these are some of the dates. Uh, so March 5th is the kickoff. Then it kind of just goes weekly, same day, the 12th, 19th, and 26th. And then from there, you kind of move into your one-on-one coaching, those types of things. Last year, we had a mid-program mixer, which was really great. You kind of bring folks together. We were at the Cosm, LA. I don't know if folks on the call, I see a couple of folks that were probably there last year. And now they're, here at this info session. But, we try to get these events, in-person events, and try to create those opportunities for you to run into prime contractors, make those relationships. So we do that too. Last year, we also did some peer group dinners where we get groups together, and smaller groups, and make those opportunities happen for folks so you can start building affinity with the cohort. And then we usually have a graduation event, and I spoke to that earlier. But these are all opportunities for you to build your network, get some validation for the work you put in throughout the program. And so with that said, we can transition to our Q&A. And if you have any questions right now, feel free to put them in the chat, or if you want to raise your hand, hop off mute. Um, Happy to answer your questions. And if not, we got our general inquiries. You can send emails to ascendla@list.org. So, all right, looks like we got some questions coming in here. Okay, one question says, I noticed that the contracts mentioned are majority construction related. I have a GovTech company that wants to sell online services to local governments. Is there a path for my GovTech startup? For sure. Yeah, so
Yeah, yes,
definitely go
absolutely.
ahead.
When
Go
they,
ahead, Renee.
sorry about that, Jawar. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I know that we do have a lot of success stories on the construction side, but the tech side, the manufacturing, professional services, we have quite a few contract wins on professional services side as well. So the bottom line is, if you're seeing opportunities out there, you've been in business long enough and you're seeing some of these RFPs or some of your competitors hold those contracts, absolutely. Yes. We'll tell you all day long that for us at CMG specifically, we may not be experts in your industry, but we are experts in procurement. In other words, how the feds, state, counties, cities, utilities, and all the subcontracting factors off of those, how that procurement rolls out. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. That the answer is yes on that side.
Awesome. Let's see something else here.
Jabbar, I believe Rima has a question.
Okay.
Rima, if you can present your question, please.
Yes, does the $1 to $2 million revenue apply to nonprofits too?
Uh, I would say yes, it does. That's kind of our legacy, and that's kind of how we kind of structure this legacies. Pretty much, we want to stick to that revenue threshold. Tech, like I said, if you got those building capabilities, then it's more based on your capabilities. So we do want to, because I mean, it's a difference between because in the past, we this cohort consisted of businesses that were, lower end of, below 500,000 in revenue. A 250,000 in revenue company is a lot different than a 2 million. And it's just a lot of missing pieces there. And so, the program kind of evolved to more established organizations. Because we want to put you in the best position to go after these contracts. And I always say that, I say, not only we can help you secure the contract, but fulfilling the contract, that's another story when we talk about execution. So we don't want to get you in there prematurely. Uh,
I have a
let's
question.
see. Sure. Go ahead.
Thank you. Two questions. First, how many hours per session for the uh,
The strategy sessions are
Yeah.
1 hour each.
okay.
It
And
typically
then-
goes an hour and a half with Q&As. It's a strategy
Okay.
session. There's 4 of them.
So my company was hit pretty badly by the wildfires. You guys actually gave us a grant, and thank you very much. And so our revenue is down significantly. Should we note that somewhere in the application?
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And,
Mhm.
and put yourself in there. So just to let everybody know, because I know that this is always a question Jabbar gets, like when we have to set that threshold, but you have to understand that as this goes up the chain of command and funders and everybody else, this is what they want to see. But if you put some type of justification in there in your application, and there's a portion in there where you can write something in, do it. I don't care if you're nowhere near that threshold, but you feel that you could actually benefit from this program, put your application in. You got nothing to lose, to be perfectly honest with you. And there's always going to be a situation where there's some attrition, where people will get into the program and then we come up with the wait list. And then we start knocking, companies off. Hey, you're not really ready, or you're not responsive, or they come back to us and say, hey, we heard you say that takes a lot of our time, but I really just didn't understand how much time it took. And they have to bow out, and come back in. So that leaves room for that wait list to really get involved. So that's why we tell people all the time, submit that application. I mean, it's really no skin off you know, you got to submit it. I mean, there's no way. I mean, we have built up so much success in this program just on the direct contracts alone. I mean, yeah, I'm just embarrassed to talk about like some of the other programs out there, whether they're training or whatever you're doing on that side. Some of you guys have been through those, right? Where you just go, goodness gracious, I just wasted 2 months of my life. I don't even understand what happened here on that side. So, it's really difficult for us to differentiate this program. That's why we say it over and over and over. This is a business development program. We're not here just teaching you, hey, go to this website and register on that side. So submit your app on that side. Give any information you can.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Do we have anything else? Alexis coming through. I see Alexis is answering questions. If those are sufficient, some of those questions that were in the chat, or if you have some follow-up, feel free to um, come off
Yeah,
mute
I'll
or.
share. Nicholas had a good question that some of
Mhm.
you may have. The question is, can you please give us a specific example of exactly what a government contract is in this context? Perhaps provide an example of a proposal that the government has posted. I'll jump in here, but to give you guys some context, we essentially cover all 5 levels of government. So we do federal, state, a local, municipality, and utility. The cool thing about the program is once we transition over to our business development service with the one-on-one technical assistance, we really cater our searches to each individual participant, meaning we take into account each individual capacity and capabilities of the business, and our procurement specialists really mine RFPs that are catered to that criteria. So when you think government, don't just think federal. We pretty much go after everything that aligns with your core competencies, state, local, school districts. So it's a very broad pool that we research.
Awesome. Any other questions?
We have one more from Sean Jabbar. How many slots have been filled already for the first cohort?
Don't tell him, Jabbar.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know
joking with
yet.
everybody. We got 40 spots, and
40 spots, yeah.
our CMG team is going to be evaluating all those applications as well, and then we're going to present to Jabbar as well. So it's close. I'm going to tell you, everybody, it's close. So
And that's the reason we open it up as a rolling, so as it fills up, then we have that other opportunity in 3 months, so we'll definitely be assessing, if it's cohort one, cohort two, that kind of thing too. So yeah. But somebody said, I want my spot. That's awesome. Uh, yeah, definitely. Go ahead and apply. I think the link is in the chat. Is in the chat. Feel free to fill that out. Is there any other questions? If not, we'll give you your 20 minutes back. Yeah, I don't see anything else. There was a comment on the GovTech. Let me see. Oh, in GovTech, you may have to shape the opportunity even if there's one not available yet, um, or more in-depth and focus business development approach. If they were generating higher before the wildfires, I recommend a waiver because their success would show greater program impact and effectiveness. Yeah, so that's more insight for the program. But yeah, we like I said, those opportunities, your capabilities, I think is a great fit. GovTech, even though it wasn't listed in our emerging technologies. If it's something that's kind of, like I said, health, I had someone reach out to me about, and they were kind of in the healthcare, tech field. So, you know, don't be bound by what you see on the, eligibility requirements. If you feel like you got a good fit, put your application in, we'll assess everything that comes through. Um, so with that said, I think that's about all we have today. There are any other? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we addressed that already. Is there one more? I think that's it. All right. Well, appreciate everyone for coming. Thank you, Lauren, for coming and sharing.
Of course.
I'm surprised they didn't have any questions for you. That would have been interesting. But we appreciate you for coming and sharing your insights, and thanks to the team, and everyone have a great day. We'll talk soon.
Thank you
thanks,
so
everyone.
Bye.
Have a good
much.
day.
Take care.
See you, Lauren.
All right.
Thank you.
You probably got quite a few AI assistants on here, Alexis. I don't know if you have the